Helen, welcome back to Time Team again. Very nice to see you. The Abbey habit. Just a short introduction to this, in which you tell me why you would suggest, what would be your reasons for somebody watching this program?
I'd recommend people to watch it because it was a difficult one. It wasn't one of those ones where it all went to plan. In fact, it completely didn't go to plan. And I think most people will want, when as soon as it ends, they'll want to start watching it again because it just went pear-shaped. At least, I mean, we did get some good results out of it, but I still think it went pear-shaped. And it's also interesting because this project had been going on. You know, we joined a long-running research project, and I have tried Googling it, you know, since I watched it a couple of days ago, and I've been madly Googling to see what's happened since, because we filmed it in 2006. You know, it's a long
2007.
2007. Yeah, it's a long time ago, and I wondered if they sorted it out, finished, packed up, gone away. They're still there, and it's just become more and more complex. But the thing is, it was a very frustrating program. We just didn't perhaps have enough time, and it's one of those classic ones where people say, "Oh well, you know, how can you make a program about archaeology? Because you never know what you're going to find." Even in a place where people have been digging since 1996, and you think, well, surely we know what we're going to find. We completely didn't, and it was not a straightforward one at all. It's a really difficult one to dig, so a really easy, good one to watch. Not perhaps easy, but a good one to watch. It's a struggle, it's a challenge, but we you know, but it's a really good program.
I enjoyed the program while sensing some of the frustrations we had to go through, and it brought up so many things. It's not often I feel like hugging the local Victoria County history expert, Alan Thacker.
Yeah.
You know, we won't give it away, but halfway through, he found what he described as a bit of new research, cheerfully working his way through the Latin records, and up he came with something that suddenly put, for Mick, the thing in the new context. Stuart came together, and from landscape principles and a certain amount of dogged, old-fashioned tripod and sighting work, came up with certain theories about where things should be. And it was one of those programs where I got a sense of us trying out a hypothesis in one direction, finding it's wrong, working it through, coming back to another. So we had about 7 or 8 hypotheses, even simply about the site that we were sort of concentrating on, let alone bigger issues. And it was a sense of intellectual grip going on most of the time.
But I think what was interesting about that was that Stuart and Mick must have begun doing this relatively early on, because doing a whole landscape survey with a plane table, that took a whole day to begin with. And then when they realised at the end of it, actually the answer's no, we shouldn't be looking here, we're looking in the wrong place, then you then don't have very much time to start thinking, well, you know, we need to go up in the helicopter, we need to look at all the waterworks, the contours, the water management. I think that was watching two people who are really experienced and really know what they're doing, realizing that they had to get into gear very fast. And at first you think to yourself, oh, well, that's Stuart Ainsworth and Mick Aston. They really know what they're doing, etc., etc. And then I thought, well, how many other lost Cistercian Abbey churches are there? Normally they're plonked in the landscape and they know where they are. They actually haven't looked for many lost Abbey churches. Normally they're given to them on a plate. So although it looks like they've done this many times before, actually they really are doing it from first principles. And it's a very impressive thing to watch.
And I think what was also kind of at the end, of course, Raysan I'm trying not to give the story away too much here, but Ray San at the end delivered an architectural reproduction of an abbey, which was a whacking great thing. And it just seemed to kind of, we should be able to find that, for goodness sake. It's a huge thing. But there was something about it that preserved the tension of it all the way through. How do you feel about those sites where we end up with bunches of medieval floor tiles? Do medieval floor tiles do it for you? Do you find them fascinating, or how do you feel about them? Because not a lot came out of the trenches in terms of finds.
No, I think we could have done with a Raysan reconstruction of a room with those, because when you see them in situ, they are really they're really impressive. But broken ones, single ones in a finds tray, not so much.
Lovely that the Poulton people are still going on with the site. We're going to try and catch up with them. Very encouraging that I think you, and this view has been expressed to me by one or two other people, that a long-term study of a number of burials from a discrete village community can produce some fantastic results, and maybe that's the long-term. In a sense, we were on about looking for the Abbey, but actually maybe the real richness of the Poulton site was just in the thing right under our nose, which we kind of ignored in a way, the burials that were in front of us. And I think there is a richness about that site that I very much enjoyed seeing again.
Yes, people do often say, you're trying to populate this site, you're trying to make it human. But these are the actual humans who really did populate it. And so they're always worthy of study. They can always tell us more.
Helen, thank you very much for chatting to me about the Abbey habit. We will be talking to the Poulton people. And I think it's an interesting program because of all those tensions and what we can look at, what we can't look at. And I shall look forward to chatting about another program with you at some point in the future.
It's been lovely. Thanks, Tim.
We can't do any of this work without you, so please subscribe, back us on Patreon, and make sure that Time Team comes back again.